And we're live. Welcome to our Pacific Rim US stand-up. Here with me is Vijay. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Okay, so walk us through what you have done today.
I can't hear. But
You can hear me? Oh.
yeah, before.
Oh, just tell us what you've been doing today.
Yeah, today I watched all the videos. This morning meeting, you guys did it. 1 hour 40 minutes. I watched all the video. Okay, and I review the MVP, and I update my development environment with upstream development, and I reviewing my code. You asked some tests. I did not write any new test for the function changes. Only existing tests I updated. Those are the updates from me.
Okay, so Patrick just joined us. Patrick, share with us.
Yeah, so we had the meeting this morning, which I thought was good. I subsequently added a story for the company person homepage to update how we do tasks there. It's kind of a mess right now. It doesn't really work, and we need to kind of replicate what Mega did for agency person. What else did I do? I've been working back and forth for the past hour with Arun on the email thing. He was going down a path that looked pretty convoluted, so trying to get him to, and he's getting a little confused. But anyway, that's it. And I think I started to get back to working on the Cruncher service API call signature change, consistent with version 2 of the API.
Okay, anything else?
Nope.
Okay, so this morning we had a meeting with our Asia team, and then also what happened today. So I talked with Sam about the other project, the metrics project that is developing. I went into one of his meetings, talk a little bit about it. Also, I talked with someone new that I really, Muhammad?
Yeah,
Something
it's
like
enough.
Not 100% sure the name. I'm so sorry for that. I have a very short memory. But he said he liked the project and eventually might join us on the project. It's here. No, Mahmoud. That's it. He joined the channel, and he said I gave him more or less an overview what we are doing, what we are trying to accomplish. I push him into our demo so he can take a look and everything. And due to his timeline, due to his time, because he's in Egypt, so he's in +2 time. I'm not sure if we'll ever be able to come to this Scrum, so I tried to redirect him more or less to our Asia team Scrum. Let's see if he shows up. I told him that usually we are there on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so if he wants to pop up, he can pop up there. And I've been trying to have double version API on our Cruncher. I think I've done it. I'm preparing myself to push the new documentation, and also I'm going to push the changes that I had to do. And that was it for my day. Okay.
What changes that you had to do? Are you talking about the API changes?
Yeah.
Oh.
In order to support the two two versions at the same time, so I had to change some parts of the API. I also had to change other things around, so what was it? And okay, so do you guys have any blocker or anything?
No.
No, I
Any
don't.
question?
Just that version 2 of that API.
Version 2 was ready. I had to go back and just remove some of things that I did, just roll back changes here and there, add functionality because Spring doesn't support multiple versions of the APIs, and then fight against the tests because the tests were not doing what I wanted, and then I had to create a full new stack of tests for version 1 and 2 at the same time, and yeah, that was my afternoon.
I do have a question. Have you or you, Vijay, ever used the TimeCop gem for testing purposes?
Which gem?
TimeCop, TIMECOP. Okay.
No.
Anyway, I recommended to Arun. He wanted to know how to test the delayed job processing, short of putting a test in there that waits 12 seconds. So I pointed him at that. Anyway, if you guys aren't familiar, that's neither here nor there.
It must be something that just changes the clock, right?
Each time, freeze, go forward, go back. It's pretty sophisticated. It's really cool for testing.
Okay.
You can set the clock ahead 3 weeks, that kind of thing. So it's very powerful stuff. But anyway, actually, if he can get it working in the dev environment and he sees it working, sees the email go out after a 10-second delay, I may just tell him, let's forego the testing if it's too much trouble. I just want to make sure that we get it working in in dev by using the UI and not just use our tests to confirm it's working.
Yeah.
But I think TimeCop would be really useful as we do more delayed job stuff. We would want to use something like TimeCop so that we don't actually have to have our test wait 10 or 15 seconds or whatever it might be.
That's useful for delayed tasks, but if the tasks are not delayed, just take time. They just take time to do stuff, then it doesn't help as much. But yeah, all the tasks that are delayed, that's an interesting feature there. Interesting, yeah.
Because we'll have more delayed stuff no doubt in the future, so it'd be good to get more experience with that.
Okay.
Vijay, sorry to interrupt, but Vijay, are you planning to add testing of the methods as you had recommended to your PR? You may have said that, and I didn't catch it.
Yeah, just I reviewed my code. If you want, I will add it.
If you want, well, I think the recommendation is good, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, the previous methods we did not have it. I updated whatever the errors I got it in the testing process. I did not add the new test. That's why I wrote, and I reviewed the code also. In job seeker, it is supporting, and I have to copy some of the test code into the agency person. Then I have to do it that when I just reviewed the code, I did not write any test.
Yeah,
this is for those ones. Yeah.
Sure.
I had to go now. If you want to do anything and put the chart, I will.
No, I just asked because the coverage lowered a little bit, and I was not sure if that was because we added more stuff and we didn't test it, or if we just converted the test. So, but okay. So if you had to go, and we can talk about it afterwards. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Jack. So,
bye. Bye, Patrick.
Bye now. Did you get a chance to connect with Chet yet?
Oh no, I didn't. I said I would send him an email yesterday. I tried to talk to him. I was talking with him through SMS, and then I told him I was going to send him an email, but I think there was some sort of confusion there because I thought we had a meeting yesterday that postponed. So I'm yet to send him another email, trying to get more or less a time for the meeting.
Well, what do you think about trying to see if we can have a meeting in the morning so that we could bring in the Asia team as well?
My only issue there is getting up at that time.
Well, it could be 8:30. It doesn't have to be 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm a morning person. I could do it at 5 a.m. myself.
When I'm
That's
working,
just me.
When I'm working, I also get up early, so that's not the issue. The issue is that now that I'm not working, and it's a little bit harder.
Well,
I don't know. I'll try to talk to him. I'm not sure how is his days. I was more leaning into just skip this week, skip this sprint, the demo, and we'll add everything up for the next time with him. Schedule with him the MVP meeting. What I can talk to him and maybe we can try to do is the next sprint planning meeting. We can try to do it early morning and see how it goes. See if he can handle that. If he has time there.
Yeah, I think it'd be good for him to explain what he does to the team so they understand, they're more motivated and understand where their efforts are going. Also, I think they'd like to see us show their software to the client. That's really good when you see your stuff being shown off. So, yeah. So next week would be great if we can do that.
I think I'll try to talk to him. I'll send him an email now and see if he's okay with that. We're just skipping it. We'll just skip it for now because we have some things to show him, but. Maybe we can schedule a meeting with them this week, but to talk with them about the MVP instead, because I think it's more important now than showing him what we currently have.
Yeah, it would make sense. Makes sense to break it up. Yeah, having a separate meeting for that would be good.
Everything together, we are generally taking like between half an hour and 45 minutes to do a full client meeting with changes that we do, the demo, and talk in the middle. So if we added the MVP list there into all of that, it would take us much longer.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's too big. People just start losing focus, and it's hard.
Yeah, we really do need to separate it. And I don't think the extended team needs to attend that. They've already heard the discussion of that. So, but yeah.
I'll talk to him and see if you can get 1 hour this week. Not sure when exactly.
Okay.
Are you free the full week?
Yeah, for the most part, off and on. I have stuff going on, but sporadically. But
okay.
If he can do it, mornings are usually good for me. I'm usually quite open then.
Okay, I'll try to talk to him. I'll give him like 2-3 slots during the morning, like Wednesday and Friday mornings, Thursday afternoons, like between meeting. Even, and we will see, or after. I don't know. I'll CC you on the email, and so you can add your times as well, or do you want to see more or less now? How's your calendar for this week?
So Wednesday morning I've got something, so that's bad. But tomorrow, Thursday or Friday, I'm open in the morning.
I didn't want to push tomorrow because it's a bit early.
Yeah, it's too fast to set it up, I think.
Yeah. We can do like Wednesday afternoon. Let me just try to write it down. Or else.
Let me see my calendar. Yep. If it's in the afternoon, Vijaya could attend. That'd be good. Or hopefully she could attend.
It was leaning into the 14th. Between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m.
Yep, I could do that.
15th from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. and 16th, same morning stuff, 10 a.m., 11 p.m., and in the afternoon between 5:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. Okay, so what do you think about that?
Yeah, or earlier Friday afternoon would work for me as well.
Let me just.
I could do from 3 on Friday afternoon.
So, okay. So, are you okay with these times?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll
Did
email
you put in the
chat.
chat?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll send an email to chat and add you there on CC, and let's see what he says.
Okay. That'll work.
Okay, so I just said it. If you refresh, if you go to the API documentation page, you should be able to see everything.
Okay.
There is not a really good way to separate things on this documentation style, but I searched a little bit and I didn't find much very interesting documentation tools for APIs that would generate stuff by themselves. Maybe.
Oh, so you just
because this uses
you list.
This uses.
Sorry. You list version 1 and then version 2 follows. I see. Okay.
Eventually, we could because I'm using ASCII Doctor, and I think with ASCII Doctor it generates an HTML, so you can have, if you want, you can put just JavaScript in there and just do stuff with JavaScript to change, put it more. Maybe just hide stuff and show stuff, but I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't want to spend a lot of time for now on this. Just a simple documentation there that has everything.
So authentication is. Let me see if I can find.
I kept authentication change. I assume that the only things that will have a V2 are the new operations for now, at least in terms of documentation.
So the authentication I'll call with V2, but you just haven't documented it as V2. Is that correct?
Doesn't really matter at this point. What I was thinking is we will have the controllers. We have two controllers that currently have V2. I can have all of them or not. So the admin one doesn't have V2 nor the authentication one. So everything that is related with jobs and with resumes have a V1 and V2. But you can use any of them. They'll point to the same place.
But the document, I mean, at the top of the page, you show V1 and the call to authenticate.
Yes. Because you're going to, when you're changing your documentation, you're just going to change some calls. Some calls you're going to do V1, some calls you're going to do V2.
I thought you said when the authentication does not take a version at all.
I also thought that, but if we wanted to change the authentication, then we would need the version here. You know?
So right now, I think I'm calling it with V1. I think all of my URLs have V1 in them.
Yes, all the URLs have V1. So now for what we need to do is for everything that is related with matching, we can start changing them from V1 to V2.
Does everything else stay at V1?
Yes, for now, yes. You can, or are you going to do all the changes?
When am I going to do the changes?
Are you going to change everything, all the APIs version?
Well, I was hoping to. I've got one constant that we set up for the URL, and it's got V1 in it, and that's just fed to every method.
In one change, are you going to change everything from resumes and jobs?
Yeah, the way it's set up, I can just change V1 to V2, and everything goes. So, am I going to change the calls to the new matchers? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that the output from the matching part is different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to change. That's basically what I have to do. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that are you going to change that URL from V1 to V2 and do all the output changes from the jobs on resume and from jobs and resume commit?
Yep, that was the intent. I didn't see any point in breaking it up and to do it for resumes and another story for jobs. It's basically the same thing. And because they share common code, for instance, the code that creates the root of the URL is common. It's got the version number in there. It would be good if I can do it all at once.
I'm just asking because it's the task is very big to be changing everything at once. That's only my concern. That's my only concern there.
It really isn't that bad. I think I'm only going to change the cruncher service itself. The resume cruncher and the job cruncher, they just call the underlying method, and they return to the caller of their method whatever the underlying method returns. So all I have to do is change documentation or the comments in job cruncher and resume cruncher to explain what's being returned to the caller. I think pretty much all of the changes are at the lower level, the cruncher service. It's pretty straightforward. And of course, tests have to change.
Okay. Yeah. That will. So I will change. I'm going to remove the version from the authentication.
Okay.
And here. And so this is the authentication. I can't do it like that.
So, So that's how I'm getting the root of the URL, which includes the version, unfortunately. Would it be just as easy to add a V2 authenticate as well as a V1? I know there's no change there, but it just seems to be cleaner to use the same version of all the API calls rather than have mixed versions or versionless ones and versioned ones.
I can have a versionless one for this. Or not. The only issue is no. Let's see. Let's see what happens here.
I mean, I can change my code any way we need to. It just seems clean to have the same version for all the API calls that one executes rather than have a mixed version. It could be very confusing to somebody who's looking at the code a year from now.
Actually, on the authentication part, but I don't know. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Config metrics.
So, Vijay, we're talking about the Cruncher service API right now.
Yeah, I saw you guys are online. That's why I rejoined the meeting.
Good.
Yeah.
Where's that find? Path. So. Here, okay. Configuration there. So, let's control there. Okay, so let us see if I can do that here. So the add cards. Here. Create API. 2. Should be good. I'm not mistaken, I think we have V1 and V2 for all of the. Oh, maybe not. Yeah.
If you have V1 for all of them, well, so for V1 matchers, you have the old match style that returns just the IDs, and the V2 matches returns the object, the hash. Is that what's okay? But I have authenticate version 2, etc. Otherwise, everything that I need is version 2.
Everything was version 1. The only things that were version 2 were the match.
Right, but now everything is version 2 that I need? Authenticate, etc.?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It's really too bad because nobody's going to use version 1. And we don't have any users out there. But anyway, it doesn't hurt to go to V2. No problem there.
The only issue is that, in the meanwhile, if we kept everything as is, it will break everything. So, and we need to keep on going and do stuff. So,
it would break everything?
Yep. Yeah, it will break all the tests, right? Okay.
You mean if we just change if we just add V1 and change the matchers?
If it changes the output from the V1s, yeah.
It wouldn't, because we actually stub the matching calls.
Do we stub it on the integration tests?
We don't have any integration tests because we haven't built anything that uses the service yet. Because so nothing will break. We could actually do all of it at V1. In fact, the stub test we have now for matchers just returns an empty hash. No, actually, IDs are stubbed out. We don't do anything with them in the tests, etc. So nothing would break.
Aren't we adding resumes and stuff like that on tests?
We are, and we're executing the cruncher service.
Integration tests.
We are, but those aren't changing. The only things that are changing are the matches, and we're not using the matches, other than as stubbed out things in our spec. And even then, we're not looking at the return value. We're stubbing out an empty hash or an empty array for the return value, which is not very robust. We have to improve that, but that's where we're at right now. So we won't even break any tests that rely upon the return value of the matches.
Do you want me to change the documentation as well? Or is it okay for now as is?
No, so do you want to go back to just V1 with the new matching signature, or do you want to continue with V1 and V2? It doesn't matter to me. As long as I can use just one version to get everything, I'm good.
At this point, it doesn't really matter because I already have the versioning system on set, so I really don't care at this point. So tests pass. So we have version V1 and V2 and everything. So it's up to you.
Okay. And
no, it's not up to you. You need to go to V2. Yeah.
Right. So that, you can't read that, but that's how we're stubbing, for instance, matching a job to resumes. You can see we're returning an empty object there. Same thing with resumes. So
okay.
it's not easy to read, right?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just pushing and so I'm going to create a PR for this.
Okay, and I'll then use V2 because I need to return values.
Okay, so I'm going to create a PR, and it's going to say closes. What's this number? It's 336 or something. 336. So closes Agile Ventures at Loss. And the number is 338 or something? I don't remember.
Let's see, do I have the tracker open? 3 what?
336.
336.
And
It is.
Yeah, but inside 336, there's a connection. There's a related PR. That's what I'm trying to find. 335, 336. And
There's
I didn't try it anywhere. Nice.
323 is, I think, maybe what you're looking for.
323.
That has to do with the enhanced matching value.
Yeah. Matching value.
Yeah, that's the one that I said. Getting shipped with 336. Okay, that's the one.
Yep.
Nice. So 323 closes 323. Okay, so we do have a pull request with 1,000 commits. That's good. Okay. Did this update something?
Okay, I'm moving all my calls to V2 then. So we're good on that. And that should work. And I will stub it out with ID and stars. You're calling it stars, I think, as opposed to score?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I call it stars.
Okay, we'll do that.
I forgot to round it.
I was just going to ask, can we just get one digit to the right of the decimal point?
Nope. I'll give you 2. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Or do you really
That's-
just want 1?
You know, we're going to show a partial star. I don't know. I would rather just have 1. That's as fine as we need to get.
Oh my god. Do you have any preference for the rounding type? Can it be ceiling? or do you prefer floor?
So 3.73 would be 3.8 if
Eight?
we use
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah.
And if 3.76 would be 3.7 if we use floor, huh? I think I'd just do floor.
Floor.
I mean, anything beyond that, we're just getting into really false precision anyway, so it's good enough.
I don't know. This looks really strange here. Let me just run the tests, see if everything. So I just found there's no easy way to run things in Java.
There is an easy way, you said? There's no easy way. Okay.
This is- Oh, okay. So this should fit. Should be good. So let me see if I do 3. Oh, okay.
Is it really difficult? If it's really tough to do, I can just do it on the rail side at the lower level method.
Just
That would be
doesn't make
pretty
any sense.
straightforward. We can do it on the rail side. It's no big deal. In fact, it might be more appropriate doing the rail side. We can change it easier if we want to. Yes? No? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm trying to see because the thing here is that you need to have a class that will format the number.
Oh God! You know.
And then you need to format the number, and that will format into a string. It doesn't even format it into a double. And then afterwards, you just need to convert the number again into a number. So
let's do it on the Rails side. Come on, that's crazy. That's insane. Yeah, that's not worth it. Now, like I said, if we decide we want to keep 2 digits rather than 1, we can easily change on the Rails side. If we go from a graphical display to a numeric display, the matching, we'd probably want more digits. I suspect we'll stay with graphics, but who knows? Yeah, just give me as is. What do you got? 2 digits to the right?
Okay, no, it's done. I'll just use it. I'll just give it to you. We just one decimal number.
With all that casting and all that other stuff? Isn't it slowing it down? Is it worth doing that?
It shouldn't slow that much, but
okay. Well, give me 1. That's great. If I'd known what I was asking for, I never would have asked for that. That's nuts. But anyway.
Yeah, and it's not that bad because when I just tried to do round, but the round didn't work that good. Because round, it just rounds it, removes all the decimal letters, all the decimal parts.
I see.
And then I start looking through the web, and some nice people were saying to multiply by 100 and divide by 100 and do I don't know what to remove things and convert to an integer. I don't know.
That's nuts. That's crazy.
So it's done. Here, resumes. It should work as well. So put on 6 here. Then 6.
Okay, cool.
Goes. Okay. Run. So in a minute I should be able to push again. Let's see. Okay, so back to chat.
Right.
I'm going to send him also. Tell him that we'll postpone the client meeting into the next week, and that I'll send him the link for the file. Sorry, yeah, for the Google Doc, so I can just take a look. That's it. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to drop. Is there anything else that I need to do now, or me too? Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to drop off now.
Yeah, bye. I'm done.
Okay.
So I think I will
You will what?
I think I just stopped hearing noise, and I thought you all left. And I was left alone. So I'll push it, and if all the tests pass in Travis, I will do the merge. And if the merge goes okay, it should be okay. It should be deployed in about like half an hour or something like that.
Not to prolong this, but I did ask you a question before. Is there any way that you can data in the back end? So if we give it a known resume ID of 12, it always returns 3 jobs, and a known job of 18, it always returns 2 resumes or something like that?
You're saying just to add a maximum?
No. Is there any way we can put test data on the back end? So when we actually develop the features that will use the matching capability, in order to test those at the acceptance test level, it'd be good if we could give it a known resume ID that's a test resume ID, and it returns 3 jobs, and vice versa. Because right now, we just throw a resume at it. It typically returns nothing to us in the return value in terms of matches. And there's no control. It's not deterministic. At the RSpec level,
at this point, we don't have much chance. The easiest way to ensure that we match everything up and that we have like correct matches would be to somehow load jobs or resumes directly on the MLab configuration, and that's it.
Well, I'm not even talking about correct matches that went through the Bayesian algorithm. Just some things test.
You're breaking a lot because you're just getting the microphone on and off and on and off.
Yeah, I'm not talking about actually getting correct matches back. Just some fake data that we can get back from the service if we call it with a specific resume ID. Let's say 20. It is you'd have to have a test version of your API in effect, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough to write the actual UI for this stuff when people. I don't know, we'll have to figure out just for development how we're going to force it to return back 3.5 stars or whatever.
Oh, the amount of stars. Yeah, that's going to be...
Well, the return values. Yeah, exactly. We have to come up with
for the integration test, yeah.
For development as well, just to see it. So we're going to have to do something there to fake that out.
We'll see, because one thing that we'll need to optimize, but maybe we'll need to talk a little bit about that, is the way I'm categorizing things, because it might not be the best way. That algorithm that I talked to you about.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because currently it's not that good, because if you have like the category that is more relevant.
Mm-hmm.
If it matches, you just have like a partial part. You don't have like 5 stars. You only have like 2.5, I think, or something similar to that. Maybe a little bit more than 2.5.
Yeah. So that's what I'm worried about right now is even more basic, which is how do I develop the UI showing the matching stars or whatever if I can't invoke the service against a fake or a test API version, and it gives me fake data back, but I can use that to make sure that my visuals all look correct, etc.
The easiest way to do that is to add a resume, and like to have a 100% match. If you had a resume with the same information as a job description, exactly the same, and you have a resume, If you add the same information on as a job and as a resume, it should give you 100% of goodness there.
It returns one match at 5 stars. Yeah.
It should. It might not because of the I handle the title and the description of the job as two separate things. So it might not bring you 100% yes, but it should be good.
Okay. Well, maybe on the Rails side we can stub up a test version of the API that just returns canned data. 3.2 stars, 5 jobs match the rest, that kind of stuff. Just so we can make sure the visuals and the processing of that works. Because just to get one match against a resume that's at 4.5 or 5 stars really doesn't allow us to vary the data much to see how our processing is doing. So we'll have to figure something out on the Rails side to do that.
So I'll try to look into it and see if there is anything. Because the problem here is that if we do, the only option would be, in terms of testing and stuff like that, it would be to have some sort of data there. Yeah.
Exactly. And we'd invoke not V1 or V2, but it'd be VTest or something, and that would return the fake data to us. But anyway, that may be a lot of work.
But that adding a new URL creates a new possible point of failure there. So I think we shouldn't do that. Eventually, what we can do is try to get some data that's good enough. Let's say it like that, and eventually we can try to. Because the thing is, the admin, if you create if we implement the part of the administration on the service, we can change the configuration of all the crunchers.
Yep.
So you have a get to get all the data, like a big JSON. If you add a bunch of information there and put it up, it should just reload everything. So
yeah. Still don't think it would be deterministic though. If it depends on what data we've loaded in the backend, what data we get back for acceptance tests. A test API could present a static set of data back to us each time. But again, it's maybe more work than it's worth at this point. I don't know.
And it's not only that, because if we're assuming that we will get that we will be doing integration tests on the Rails side that will cover both the sides, we need to make sure that we're calling the correct APIs. Because if we're calling a completely different API that will return whatever.
Yeah,
just
that's true.
Stuff. But yeah, eventually we might want to do that in terms of our spec to make sure that if we have one star, or if we have 2 stars, we stub on the Rails side the stars and try to see if the amount of stars displayed is correct and everything.
Yep.
Visually, it will be a little bit harder to make that happen.
Yeah,
we can do that, and we can just try to do some tests to make sure that everything is okay, and then we can do some feature tests that call a stubbing method that will stub the connection to the cruncher, and some of those will return canned stuff. But they are not deterministic. They're more just to make sure that visually we'll have everything there.
Yeah, I'm not more worried about development, not testing at all, just development. So to get back a good sample of an array of matches and make sure that my logic and my visuals work based upon the returned values. So it's not so much a testing phenomenon. The acceptance testing, of course, is an issue for us, but just development. It's going to be a little difficult to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because we're all be using the same servers. We're all using the same servers in order to connect there. So
yeah. Oh well, we'll have to do something in development to people can play with that. Have to work on that. All right, sounds
so
good.
The merge is done, so eventually in some time have everything going.
Our V2.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me see. Because I have Travis. Travis should be running now. As we speak. Let me see if I find Slack. Travis. It should be doing a build. Oh. It should be built 19 maybe. Yeah, it's doing the build 90 and it's currently creating the zips and everything. Yeah. So it just finished the testing and it's going to start. No, it's doing the tests. I need to change this again. Yeah, but it will take like 5 more minutes to do the tests, and it will take 5 to 10 minutes to install it on the wheel.
Yeah.
Had problems with spacing like last time. Let's see.
Don't have what? Space issues. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, we reached the wheel size. So we're a bit short here at this point.
Yeah.
We should get a bigger wheel that allows us to get more space, but that will cost money. So.
All right. Well, I probably won't be able to get to this tonight anyway, so I'll see the status in the morning, and hopefully it'll be available, and I can start developing against that. All right. Well, I gotta go. So have a good night, and we'll talk in the morning or tomorrow sometime.